Hello everybody, this is Arleen from Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. We're about to do a video on the Viking critter. So I'm going to wait till some people show up in the... I'm going to wait a little bit until people show up into the room. This is a live broadcast on Facebook. Later I will put it on YouTube later tonight. So let's see what we have here. Let's see what we can start with. Hello everybody. Welcome. Okay, this is the guy we're working on today. He has a little shield and he has an axe. And hello Danny and Al. And yes, I'm back, Christine. I'm back. It's been a long few weeks here. I did go up to Canada last week. Came back last Tuesday, and my sister's here now as a surprise visit with a friend of hers, and they're leaving again tomorrow. So I do have Canadians in the house, and hi Jen and Jack. Jen and Jack. Ann is here today with her friend Linda, and they were out shopping today, and we went to Shady Maple today. For the first time in 2 years I went to Shady. So all is well there again, so I look forward to going with you when you come down in a couple weeks. Hello everybody, hello. Okay, so let's get started on this project. Let me find a knife that is pretty comfortable. So the Viking is, sure. Hey Ann, they say hi! Okay, Ann says hi back. Anyway, this is a piece that has a little bit of a line in it. I'm going to just use it for the demonstration today. It's not a big deal because it gets painted over anyway. So let's get started with this right away because it's going to take a little while to do. Hello Bob. Welcome to wood carving. Hello Pete. In Nova Scotia. Alright, so the hardest part on this is doing the little horns that are on the top and making it that you can see through it. I try to leave it whole, but then it looked like just a pair of ears. It didn't look right. And how you cut it up is going to make a difference. So he's got an axe, he's got a shield. It's basically all the same thing, but it's just going to be a few different cuts here. So let's start with notching out where we're going to put the nose. So usually when I start, we do a little bit of a round nose like this, right, on both sides, and you try to make it even. If you try to make this thing around, it's a little harder to do. And then we're going to bring this down and around, just like we do with every hat we've done with it. And no, I did not go to the carving show. We had really bad weather. They still had the show. I don't know how many people were there. I heard it was very good, and I'm glad those folks that did go were able to go, and everybody made it home safely from what I gather. So next year I'll try the Lancaster show again, but this year it's been kind of crazy. I was going to go, and I was already starting to pack up Thursday night, and I thought, when I heard possible blizzard conditions, I thought, no, I don't think I'm going. So I'm going to make a notch right here, and we're going to just go up like so. Alright? Oh, we're starting with a 2.5 inch by 1.5 by 1.5 square. Okay? 2.5 by 1.5 by 1.5 square. And I'm going to notch out every corner first, like we normally do. And, yeah, I'm 3 weeks since I've been back. And, coming up with new ideas is kind of getting tough. Canada was nice, very nice. Cold. I left here with 60 degrees during the day and got up there and it was -2 Fahrenheit at night. So that was the coldest day up there. But anyway, and I went to learn how to do maple syrup. So I'm trying to do some of that down here in the farm too. Okay, so once you get those notches out, you're going to take your little V tool, you're going to follow this out and around, just like so. Don't forget to put your thumb guards on and stuff. The worst part for traveling for me is trying to get all the paperwork together to go up there. I hope they drop all this testing stuff eventually. You have to time it just right, and all this stuff. It just drives me crazy. But, yeah. So, there we go. Now we're going to notch the bottom part of the nose right here. Alright, just the bottom part. And I'm going to look at it and I'm going to put my knife in exactly parallel to that corner when I cut this. You don't want to go inside because you'll cut the nose out. You want to go alongside it, okay? So we're going to go this way and we're going to go down and around like this. And we're going to notch it a little bit deeper on this side. Let's see if that will pop out. Yep, good. Alright, just like so. And then we're going to do the other side the same way. And then once we have this done, I'm going to go ahead and start the horns. They are a little bit tricky to do. But I wanted to do a Viking before, and I thought, now how am I going to do this? So I was up late last night trying to figure out how to do it. So it's pretty good. It turned out better than I thought. I was up late trying to get it done because I know you guys were waiting for a class. So, you know, as summer comes along, I'll probably do it every other week or so. I know more people are going to be on vacation. More people are able to go on vacation, which is a good thing. Alright, so we've got that done so far. Alright, now we're going to go up here. Remember when we did the bear, we notched it out. We're going to go straight across, just like so. Alright, and you're going to put two little lines right from the corner over, just like so. Alright. That just gives you an idea. So we're going to just cut in like that. Straight in, parallel with the corner. And we're going to just notch this out. We're doing our little Viking today. Viking critter. So. Okay. And then you're going to do the back side as well. And they might not look exactly the same right away, but you'll have plenty of time to fuss with it and work with it and all that. So I'm going to try to do one horn, and we'll see how it goes. Well, we're supposed to have really bad weather on Saturday. We got about maybe 3 inches of snow. I got the tractor ready to plow. I thought, oh geez, we're going to get really nailed. And it wasn't that bad, but the roads were really bad at night here. And so I'm sorry if you had decided to come to the show and I wasn't there. To me, it was a safety issue for me, and I thought, no, I think I'll stay home. Like I said, I was packing up on Thursday night. I had my stuff in there, but very good, Michael. So once you get those two cut out that way, let's start rounding off the front here. I'm going to go to a little heavier knife. It's just a little easier to cut it. There we go. That's good. Alright, so we're just going to start trimming off the front here. I'm going to spray this. This thing is a little harder than I like. Forgot to pick up the better wood out in the barn. This was an extra piece I had. It has a little bit of a, you see the dark line that goes all the way across and around. It won't matter after you paint it anyway, but yes, I have hot chocolate. It's not really hot chocolate weather, but it was near 70 today. So when Jenny and Jack come down, when you guys come down, it's going to be nice and warm down here. We have a little bit of snow on the ground yet, but very, very little, if any, today. Most of it's gone from Saturday. Doesn't take long to get rid of it. Let me try something else here. Hang on just a second. Just not comfortable with that. Let me try this one here. Well, we did go to Shady today. That was the first time I went to Shady Maple in 2 years since the pandemic. I went with my sister and her friend, and it was very nice. Good food. What I remember from before. So the hat, we're not going to swoop it out like we do with the Santas. Okay, so we're just trying to shape up the head a little bit more. You're going to be rounding it a little bit, but you're not going to go crazy with it like you would if it was a Santa. And I'm going to take all this hard stuff off right away. Sometimes just putting it on the table makes it a little easier. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to cut this out a little bit more in the nose here, in this area. Make it a little bit deeper. I'm just going to take the tip of the knife and cut that out. There we go. I thought of doing Vikings. I don't know that much about it. And usually when I do something I don't know about it, I do a little research on it. And most of the Vikings came from Norway, Sweden, and there was another one. I'm not sure what the other one was. But anyway, in that area. And a lot of them went to England, from what I understand. And I thought, well, that's interesting. They say there's about 30% of the people in England have some kind of Viking heritage. So I thought that was very interesting. So all right. Now we have the horns cut out a little bit more, but you'll see what we'll end up doing with it. Alright, we're going to go a little bit deeper, a little bit more down, a little bit more. Alright, same thing with the back side. You're going to have to cut that down a little bit more as well, because you're going to have to make a little hole in it to show that that horn has a loop to it. Okay? Alright. This was a lot harder than I'm used to. Just bear with me. Sometimes I get a piece that's a little harder than it should be. Alright, so now I'm going to bring this down a little bit right here. Just bring this down like so. Yes, I carved a Blackfoot Indian already. I have a DVD on that, and it is on YouTube. If you go there, you'll be able to see it. I think it's some of my last 30 or 40 DVDs I did. I have to look it up. Just look up Blackfoot Indian. Alright, so now we're going to, just here, we're going to notch this out right here. We're going to mark this so it looks about the same on both sides. Alright. I'll take a look at it. Does it look even? Yeah, it looks good to me. So we're just going to notch this out and do a nice big V cut up to that line that I have. Just like so. Alright. Now, on this side, we're going to do the same thing. Hopefully it's in the right area here. And we'll cut that out. And then again, we're going to go around here. We're going to start trimming some of this stuff off. You don't want any of the rough stuff on it, because when you go to paint it, it will look awful. It will absorb more of the paint than you want it to do, so to pick up. So let me just make this a little deeper underneath. Okay. The hard part for me was doing the horns and fitting everything in here with the axe and the shield. And I looked, when I don't know how to do something, or how the design should be, Google is an excellent place to go. Just put in what you're looking for, whether it's a monkey face or a deer face or whatever it is, or a side profile of a deer or a side picture of a deer. You'll find all kinds of stuff on YouTube that can help you with taking care of that. And that's my go-to source a lot of times. You know, years ago we used to go through a bunch of magazines and whatever we could find, and now with the internet it's so much easier to research things. And I know we all check stuff on Google, I know that. So, but, alright, so that's how far we're at right now. Looks like it has cat ears right now, but that will change. So we're going to just round this off, just like so. And we're going to take that point off as well. Okay, good. Yes, Pinterest is also a very good source to find things as well. So, yeah, the internet, there's a huge source of pictures and things you can research. So let me just keep, okay, so I just want a little bit of a shadow look, so it looks like it's deeper than it truly is. Alright, hang on. I'm for a swig of my hot chocolate. Alright, now, so right here, we're going to kind of turn, right here is where we're going to turn it, it's going to be the end of the, cutting right across here. Let's cut that right across. What we're going to do is we're going to just start digging underneath there a little bit. Bring this down on this side. Because we want it to look like it's sticking out, right? So we're going to have to do some digging underneath the horn and yet leave a lot of it there. So we're just going to give it an idea of how far over we can go. And then we'll start digging underneath it once we get it all figured out. You'll need a little V-tool, or no, I'm sorry, a small gouge to get underneath here, to get into this ear. So what I do, into this horn. So what you want to do is just take your knife for now, and you can stick it out with the knife as well. I just kind of jab in there and start making a hole. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to make that just a bit deeper. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's very grainy. I don't like it as much, but it is what I have right now, so. And I didn't feel like running down to the barn and out to the barn and get another piece. Alright. White pine or sugar pine can cut really well if you have a good piece of sugar pine. A lot of carvers have used that in the past to do ducks and stuff. Okay, so let me take a look where I want to go here now. Alright, so I'm going to cut a little bit out of the ear here, out of the horn here as well. Just a tiny bit to get it started. So it gives us an idea. Alright, so bring this down a little bit more. Hang on just a second. I need to sharpen this tool up. I should have did this before I got online, but they had me driving all over the place today. So I didn't have time to do a lot of stuff today that I wanted to get done. This is my Rough Rider knife. This is the smaller one, Bob. I also have a larger one, which is this one here, is the larger one, okay? They're the two that I have available on my website. Alright, so now I'm going to put, he has little feet on him, right? Little feet on him, so we're going to go ahead and Just put a little foot there, a little shoe on both sides. So let me see how deep that is right there. Okay. Bring it up and around. Now let's see, we'll bring this down around here. That's not quite the same. It's hard to get the two to match up the way you want, right? So I charge $50 a knife, and you get 2 blades that are sharpened on each knife. It's a 3-blade knife. The largest one I don't use anyway when I carve. You can use that for whatever. That's up to you. So anyway, let's chop this out. I'm going to put a little notch right here. Right there. Good, good, good. That'll do. Very good. Just notch it again. Just like so. I was going to bring them to the show, but I ended up not going because of the weather, and hopefully next year. I have so much going right now around the farm and stuff. It's been very, very busy here. Then I take my parting tool, or my V tool, whichever you want to call it, and I follow my lines for the foot, and I bring this down a little bit here. Just bring that up, because this is going to have that shield. This one's going to have the website that I have is, if you go to Google and just put in Carvers Woodshop online, you'll see something pop up that says Arleen Zomer Square. Or it's also carverswoodshop.online.com. You can do that as well. That will come up. It should. I've been fussing with it. I had some problems with it last week before I had gone up to Canada, and I was trying to figure out why it was not working the way I wanted it to. Now we're doing the back of the feet, or the shoes, right now. And I'm just going to tape. This is the back end here, okay? This is the front, this is the back. And we're just going to bring this down. And I'm going to just round everything off here. Alright. You're welcome, Dave. Thank you for asking. I try to see if you ask any questions while we're online. Sometimes I don't see it because I only see 2 people at a time when it scrolls up. I don't see everybody that's on. I see everybody. I see there's 25 people in the room, but I don't see other than the last 2 people that came in or had a question. So feel free to ask a question. I can't always guarantee I'll catch it as I'm carving here. So we'll bring this down a little bit more. This is the back side. I'm just trying to clean off all the rough stuff. Okay. Now, we'll work on that a little bit here. Let me just go over here and chop all this rough stuff off of the hat, because if that is on there, it's going to make it terrible when you paint it. The paint I use is just black, gray, dark gray, light gray, white, and black. Those are the 4 colors I used on it. You can mix your own colors as you go. Just make sure you mix enough of it and put a little bit aside in case you have to touch it up a little bit at the end. I usually do that as well. So, yeah. Well, maybe, Joan. I like the way they look. I looked at several pictures. Some of them are straight up. Somebody asked if I glued these on. No, you could. You could glue that on and it would do just as good, but just as well. But I prefer to keep everything in the block. And because I'm limited with space, I could have it just come up and chop it off like right here. I could do that. But it would be so so much shorter. I figured if I went a little further, it would work out a little bit better. Hello, Jim and Beth. How are you folks doing? You ready to take that camper out yet? I know you revamped one. Wondering how that was going for you. Okay, so I'm going to take all this rough stuff off. And or try to take most of it off. Let me switch something here, folks. Hang on just a second. Let me get a little bit larger blade, a different blade again. Let's see if I can reach that a little better. There we go. That's what I wanted. Sometimes when you have a longer blade, you can get to those places like this that you need to clean up. Awesome. Let me know when you're down in the area, Jim. You did a beautiful job on that camper, I have to say. Wonderful. Alright, I think I got most of the rough stuff off now. Alright, so if you've been waiting, that's what I've been doing. Okay, now the next thing I do is, these come on all kinds of patterns and different things. You can make it as intricate as you want, or as simplified. You don't have to put the little round dot at the top. You don't have to do that. You can just, I looked at a couple of them and I thought this might be the best way to do it right now, is to go straight from the front all the way to the back and then add the sides. I thought that looked a little bit more unique, because sometimes they have them down a little further over the hey Jim, you can park it here then if you want overnight. If you want, it's up to you. I do have water and electric here, so, but then you have to dry camp the rest of it. But anyhow, you can push it down and around like so if you want and make it longer, but I thought I liked really the nose to pop out a little further, so I decided to do it above the nose. It comes, look at the pictures, folks. There's a wide variety of things you can do. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just take a pencil and we're going to start marking, and the hard part is keeping it the same all the way across and down the center. I'm just using this as a guide, you know. Just take a look at it a couple of times before you make your cuts in it, because once you make the cuts, it's kind of a done deal. Alright, once you get that done, then you want to connect this side. Oops. You want to make it about the same width, right? This way, as it is here. So I think that would look good. Oh, you're very welcome, Bob. I hope you enjoy them. Okay. Alright, there's one. And then we'll do the other side as well. Marvin the cat is not in because he can detect when Canadians are in the house. I kid you not. He came to the door, sniffed a few times, and out the door he went. He would not come in the house. He's an outdoor cat, but he comes in from time to time. So Marvin is not too keen on Canadians. So I can't help it. He just isn't happy with really anybody but me. So it's kind of weird. But anyway, so I'm going to take my V tool and I'm going to start cutting that off. and I'm following that line all the way down across. So you need a V tool, you need a real small gouge, and I'll show you the gouge in a little bit here. I do have both of them here. I know many of you have bought them off of me. I have more here, no problem at all. And when you do use these tools, you have to kind of feel how the grain is going. If it starts to tug where you feel you can't cut anymore, then flip it around. That's the only way to handle that. Okay, now I'm going to turn this around and then do this corner right here. I'm going to do it back here. It's just easier on my shoulder, my hand for a second. Okay, so that's what we have. We have the two lines. I don't know if you can see that going all the way around on both sides. Now we're going to connect both sides together. That's a little bit, oh, what did I just do? Oh, okay. Nothing. There we go. We're going to take that up and around. Follow my line I put there earlier. Alright, we're going to make it deeper. We're going to cut a lot out of it yet. But, it's pretty simple. So yes, Marvin's not in the house today, or yesterday. He'll be in the house tomorrow. They leave tomorrow. Alright, now, let's take a look at this. I'm going to take my knife, and I'm going to follow those lines again with my knife, just like so. And I'm going to go in pretty deep. I'm not going to be shy about it. Alright. Next thing I'm going to do is kind of take my knife and kind of cut all the way around it. Now when I get up here where the grain goes in a different direction, I just take my time and I just go ahead and pop that out very, very carefully, because this is going to come out anyway, because we have to go underneath that horn a little bit. So hello, Ann! Ann's here. That was funny. She's sitting in the living room. She just popped in. Yeah, my sister says hello. Oh, that's funny. We were just popping in. My sister's here from Canada, and she just popped up on my screen here. She's watching from the living room, I think. She has a friend with her. They decided they want to do some shopping in Pennsylvania because it's cheaper. No state tax on clothing. So, alright, so that's what we want to do right there. No, my sister does not carve. She has other talents than I don't have, like cooking and cooking. A very organized lady she is. I got my wood stove fixed. Boy, has that ever been sweet. I'm telling you, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's been nice and warm. The night they came, 2 nights ago, it was near 18 degrees outside. Today it's like 40, and it was just crazy. So what I'm doing, I'm just trying to clean this up and make this stick out a little bit more, okay? That's all I'm doing right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, let's see if I can share this with you real quick. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to move that. I spray it up pretty good with the solution that I use, and I'm going to make the same hole in the back of this horn as I did in the front. Alright, just like so. And I'm going to bring this down just a bit more. Alright. So what I'm going to do, I have this very small little, I think it's a 3 milliliter by Wendy. It will be on YouTube very soon, usually about an hour after I'm done here. So I'm just going to start going in here and start. You don't want to start twisting and turning too much. You don't want to put too much pressure on it because you can knock this out. So I don't want to free this up until I get the hole in there first. So I'm just going to keep poking around in there until and then once you get it in there far enough, you take the point of your knife, go in there and just kind of dig it out a little bit, okay? And then you go to the back side and do the same thing. And you keep doing it until you get the hole in there. And you don't want to do too much twisting. Because I want to try to get the hole through it. And it takes a little bit of time to do that. So don't rush it. Just take your time with it. I'm rushing because I'm on a time schedule here, but please do not rush it. If it doesn't free up right away, then just keep digging at it until you get that little hole in there. And to save a little bit of time, I'm going to try to bring this down just a tad, right? And like so. And then here I'm going to try to dig it out a little bit more. There we go. It's almost through, not quite. Wrong one. That V-tool will not work on this. Unless it's a big horn, then you can use that. But you notice how I'm holding it like a pencil? Sort of. Not like a pencil, but 2 fingers on the top. This way I have a lot of control over it. So I'm just really having a real good tight grip on it. And you think that you would get through this. It's not really that deep, but we are going to. There, see the knife went through? Bingo. That's it. There's our little hole. It's in there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim a little bit more off the helmet. I'm not going to do this side because it's just going to take too long. And I can't see it really well from where I'm sitting. So what you want to do is just round this off a tiny bit. Round off the bottom here. Alright, so right here, you're just going to start digging in a little bit and chopping in. Just like so. Alright, and you're going to keep doing that till you have a little bit of a gap for the helmet to the horn. It's really intricate. And that's why I say spray it a little bit before you do it. Okay. Gotta bring this down a little bit more. There we go. See if I can get that. Hang on. It's coming. I'll get it done tonight, I promise. Okay, see how I have it starting to free up? Right there. You just need a little bit of a gap in there. That'll make it look much, much better. Let's see if I can. So that's almost where I want it to be. Let me take it back here for a second, folks, so I can take a better look at it, because it's so hard with it in front of that camera that it's so far away from me. I want to be able to take my knife all the way across there. And you just keep going at it until it frees up. Whoop. See, I almost snapped that puppy off of there. I don't want to do that. Alright, there we go. It's freed up, but I'm not going to fuss with it too much more until I get off. If you happen to snap it off, that's what glue is for, folks. Really. See how delicate that is? That will snap right off because your grain is going right through this way, up and down. So you want to be real careful, but that's what it should look like. Let's see if I can see the white behind it. Okay, you want to free that whole horn completely over. I have a little bit more to do there to make it look a little more, and you just take it off from the helmet. You don't want to take it off the horn. Let's see here. There we go. I'm gonna go over here and just be careful your knife isn't so long that you're hitting it with the tip of the knife as you're trying to take more of this off. Come on. Oh, there's still a little piece in there yet. Hang on. Oh, there we go. There, it's completely free. See it? I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can put something against it. See how it's freed up completely? Alright, I might take a little bit more off the horn, but if anything, I'll probably take it off the helmet. So that's how the horn is done. And all you do is kind of round it up a little bit, but you want to be very, very careful. You want to kind of round that off, get all that done before you start digging underneath it, because this is so incredibly fragile. What you want to do, if you want, you can drop a couple of drops of, what am I thinking of? Super glue on it, and it will actually harden up for you. Alright, so if you decide to do this, just make sure, and it's a little harder to paint, so if you're going to use that method, I usually let it go. If it breaks off, then I do something extra to it. So let's go to the body portion of it, because we're pretty well done with the hat and all that. So we need to put his little shield on and stuff. So this all turned out pretty good. Same thing here. You're going to cut this down a little bit, you know, and round everything off, similar to what this looks like here. You want that to look like that all the way around with these extra pieces on the hat. I put a little circle up here. You can do that. You can just cut it out with a little V tool if you want. It just adds a little extra, like it's tacked together there with a bolt or something for the helmet. And now what I do with that is I just take my little V tool and I make a circle. Where's my V tool? Here it is. I just take my V-tool and I just do a little circle. I do a half a circle usually, and then I do the other half from the other way. Okay. And I like to do things in halves because if you try to do it all at once, it doesn't always work as well. And then you can keep an eye on it if you're going off center and that kind of thing. So there's your little circle. It's done very simply with the V-tool. Hang on. All right, now we are working on the feet here, and we're going to continue working on that. Let me switch. All right, so let's do this. Pretty well done with the hat and the horn. And you can do the rest of that offline with the second horn. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just cutting out the feet so they stick out a little bit more on both sides. Alright, there you go. Bring this down. We're going to round off the foot a little bit. Excuse me just a minute, folks. This is important. Hey, Linda, your results came in. It came in. I'll check it later. Sorry about that. This is, we've been waiting for the COVID test so she can go back to Canada. It just came in from CVS. So I don't know if she passed or not. We'll find out when we get off of here, but I'm sure she's fine. Otherwise, they won't let her back in, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, she'll just end up staying here for a while. Okay, so this goes down. This is going to be the axe here. So let's just bring this down a little bit. It's nice to be able to go out and eat a little bit better. You know, things seem to be easing up everywhere with COVID. Even up in Canada, when I went up, it was definitely simpler. But we still have the testing to do when we come and go from there. And they also have to do the testing when they come from Canada and having to go back home. So we got that done on Monday. So, okay, so I'm rounding off the nose a little bit to get that all done. Okay, so now we're going to put the axe in there first. So I go from the bottom of the nose, a little further than the bottom of the nose. Let's go over here like so. And then we bring this up like this. The rest is going to be underneath his nose. So he's going to have that actual part there sticking up. And we're going to bring the handle down like so. Alright, let's bring this down like this. That looks off for some reason. Hang on just a second. I got to make the axe a little bit bigger to make this work. Alright. So what I do is I take my little V-tool and I follow the outside of the axe and then up. And then I take this portion and I just do the little curvature for the other side of the axe. So, alright, there's the axe. Now, we need to, these lines aren't quite up to where I want it to be, so let's start from here down. Okay. Okay, now his little hand's going to be right over here. So I have a little hand right there hanging on to his axe. So we'll just do it like so. Alright. Now I'm going to make this a little deeper. And I'm just going to cut that out first. And that's like a big V cut. Doing the tools are kind of fun to do. I like doing the axe and things like that. It should come out free if you do it right, and I didn't do it right. Let's do it again. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. This comes down a little bit more. We'll cut that out a little bit deeper on this side as well. Boom. There we go. Now, trim this out to right here. Just like so. This is going to come up a little bit. Okay. This is his beard right here, but we're going to have to figure out where his shield is going to go. So right here, we're going to go ahead and put his hand. His tiny little hand here. And I'm just going to do that with a knife. I'm going to follow that line with the tip of the knife. I'm going to go back and I'm going to undercut it. Just like so. Alright. That's it. We'll put little fingers in there in a second here. But right here, we're going to kind of trim this down a little bit because this is the hair portion, right? So we need to cut this down a little bit. Have that hand look like it's sticking out instead of under. Alright, so I'm going to take care of this foot a little bit more. Round this foot up a little bit. Just like so. Take all the rough stuff off of it. Bring this down. Alright. Sorry about all the interruptions tonight, folks. There's a lot going on. Alright. Yes, I tried my hand at maple syrup. I got a whole 2 ounces of it so far. Not a whole lot. I think I got in it late of the season here, but I have to mark all the maple trees this summer and see how that goes. Hopefully next year will be a little bit better, but I think I have another gallon out there yet, and then I can start cooking it up again and thinning it out. So we're just going to round that off a little bit. Okay, so there's the axe. The hard part is this round thing. That was a puzzle to me. So I thought, well, why don't we put it underneath the axe a little bit, bring it down, do 1/4 of it, and go up here like it's underneath the nose, and then come down this way. So a little bit's underneath the helmet, a little bit underneath the axe, and up to the foot. And that should do it. So let's see how this goes. Let's bring this down a little bit more, because that's not going to stay as a... Alright, we'll bring this down a little bit more here. There we go. Let's get rid of this rough stuff before we put this beard in. Alright, so right here, we're going to have to cut it there. We're going to have to cut it over here. We want to see a little bit of his hair over here. I think that looks a little bit better when we do that. Okay, so I'm going to take my V-tool and I'm going to do my first cut right here. Okay. Then I'm going to bring my other cut here. Alright. And we'll see if we can get this around. Okay. There we go. I looked at a bunch of these, and they're all a little different on the design. All I did was put some X's and slots in it. Otherwise, it looks like a big target for shooting or something. So let's see if we can get this a little better here. I have a little bit of white up at the corner here, so that's okay. And then if we come down this way, we're going to make this a little deeper. We're going to undercut it a little more. There we go. Now normally, if you look at the shield, it's supposed to be more of a dome shape, not purely flat like this is. But because of the sake of not having enough room, doing everything in a 2.5 inch size, it can be really difficult to get that exactly where you want it. So, or to have that illusion that it's rounded. It's not necessary, but if you can make it a little bit more of a dome where it slopes off, but I only have so much room here. So I'm going to recut this where this and this meets right here. I'm going to undercut for underneath the So I'm going to just start cutting off the hard edge here. And yeah. Don't turn the TV on, it uses the internet.
Oh, okay.
For now. Okay, thanks. I'll have to wait till I'm done. Shh. All right. So there's our little thing, right? And I have it tempered. I have it sloped down a little bit. I think it looks pretty good. It's right where I want it to be. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a circle. I will. Okay, so let me make another circle here. There's a small tiny little circle in the center. Okay, this is really difficult to figure out exactly where the middle is, okay? And then there's another circle around that one. So let's do that. Alright. Again, we're going to take our little V tool and we're going to follow the one all the way around. This is really dull today. I don't know. I should have sharpened it beforehand, but I was carting the Canadians around today. Couldn't get all my work done. I like having them here. It's very nice that they came. Alright, so I'm going to go around. I'll be right back, folks. Alright. I gotta get rid of the distraction. Okay, so we're making the circle here. Let's go over here. Okay, so that's the first circle. Then we do a second circle. Let me spray this. You want to say hi? My sister's shy. She doesn't want to say hi. She's standing right here. Just say hi. Hi. Jeez. Alright, so we're going to go around. You notice I'm moving the carving. I'm not really moving my hand a whole lot, but it's hard to get those exactly right. Alright, so there's the shield. The next thing I did with the shield is a couple of things. I just did a little crisscross on here. One in the center, and then I did another little crisscross again from each corner. This takes a little bit of time, but it just is an easier way of doing it, right? This is going to be your, this has to go down a little bit more. That's sticking up too far. Alright, there we go. You're going to paint that white because that's part of his beard. And if you can get that in there to make a couple little notches, it'll look like it. Alright, so let's see here. What did I do? There we go. Alright, so you put a couple of crisscrosses in it. Then on the next one, I just do it again, but I go kind of a little bit deeper. I just go all the way around about the same distance from each line towards the center. And it just gives it a different contrast, right? When you do this, it just makes it look more like a shield than just 3 circles. Then on the outer one, I did something a little different. I did crisscross. Alright. Like little V's. So when you go to paint this later, you'll really notice the difference. And it really does stand out nicely when you go to paint it. It just looks different. See how I'm doing the crisscross around? It's just like a V all the way around. You can do any pattern you want. I just came up with this idea because it just seemed easier than just leaving it blank, because it just gives it a little more depth to it. So just back and forth until you're all the way around. And there you go. All right. So there is your, hello Lori, welcome. That is pretty well it. Now the only other thing I do here is I do the bottom of the shoes just like I normally do. I just go all the way, give it the sole of the shoe. All right. Go back when you have time. Go ahead and do your other horn, like I showed you earlier. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not done yet. I have all the, and then I start putting in the beard. I always work towards the edges first, and alright, so that's the first part. Here also we need to put little fingers in, so we're just going to put 2 little It's right in there for the fingers. That's one. And that's two. There you go. So he's hanging on to that thing. And it's really difficult to get in here. Just take your time when you do this. There's no rush. Just work towards the helmet and then turn it around, or work towards the hand, and just take your time, because you don't want to be notching stuff out because you put too much force on your V-tool when you do it. So and then there's the back side, right? So the only thing I'll have to finish off is the other horn on the other side, but you should be able to see through it, okay? And again, I go up to the helmet. Thank you, Joy. I just created him yesterday, so I had it in my head for a while, just wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. And of course I go to Google to see pictures that I need to get some ideas how to do it, or what. Because I first was going to just have a shield, and I thought, well, that didn't look right. Then I thought, well, I'll just give it an axe. And that didn't look right either. I wanted to put both in there, you know, the shield and the axe. I think it looks much better that way. And okay, that's part of the beard there. The beard here, a beard over here, and we have a little bit more here, and then we'll be done with it. Show you what it looks like when we get done here. Hang on. Just be careful of those horns. You know, you water it down with the softener that is the water mixed with rubbing alcohol, and that works out pretty good. Did I put another? Oh, see, I put another circle, like another pin in the back here. So you can do that like you did in the front. I'm trying to think what else I'm missing here to show you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little project. I really had a lot of fun creating it, and you know, painting it was fun yesterday, because I thought, well, I'm going to paint it right away instead of waiting till later. Because everybody wants to see something that's done. So there's our little creature, our little Viking. I hope you enjoyed tonight, and I hope that this will be on YouTube. I'll work on it right away. It should be within an hour. It should be on YouTube for you to watch and to learn from it if you didn't get to watch all of it tonight. And I'm sorry again for all the interruptions. I'm not used to having people here. Take care. Bye-bye, and have a great night. God bless. Bye-bye.